Chapter 1605. Xiaoyun stared at the white tiger, and there seemed to be a raging fire burning between her and the tiger. The white tiger bared its fangs. Because it had suffered at the hands of Mu Lianfeng and was injured, it was more or less afraid of Mu Lianfeng. With every step the white tiger took, there was the sound of branches on the ground being trampled. Mu Lianfeng quickly protected Xiaoyun behind him. If the white tiger really wanted to attack someone, it would attack him first, not Xiaoyun. Xiaoyun looked up at Mu Lianfeng's side profile. This man would always think of her first at all times and protect her so that she would not be in danger. Roar! The white tiger roared again and got closer. At this point it was useless to be afraid. Xiaoyun held a knife in her hand. When she saw Mu Lianfeng standing in front of her, she handed it to Mu Lianfeng. Come, use it for self-defense. If this beast really catches up to it, give it another stab. Okay. Mu Lianfeng took the knife from Xiaoyun's hand. He was not as proficient in using a knife as a dagger, and he was not sure if he could hit the white tiger's vital points in one go. If he failed this time and angered the white tiger again, the white tiger would not be like it was now. It would enter a berserk mode. The white tiger seemed to be sure that Mu Lianfeng and Xiaoyun were not as good as it. It jumped and attacked Mu Lianfeng and Xiaoyun. Mu Lianfeng swung the knife in his hand, but the white tiger's body was unusually agile. It easily avoided Mu Lianfeng's attack. Instead, its front paw directly pushed Mu Lianfeng to the ground. Xiaoyun was also knocked out and fell to the ground. She struggled to support her body and finally fell to the ground. He saw Mu Lianfeng being pressed under the white tiger's body. The white tiger's fangs were wide open, and it could eat Mu Lianfeng if it lowered its head. Xiaoyun couldn't wait to rush over and push white tiger away, but she didn't even have the strength to get up. He could only lie on the ground and watch as Mu Lianfeng was in danger. This feeling of powerlessness and frustration made Xiaoyun feel extremely uncomfortable. She was afraid that if she blinked again, Mu Lianfeng would become the white tiger's food. Don't eat him. Xiaoyun shouted at white tiger, even though she knew that white tiger couldn't understand human language. However, white tiger ignored Xiaoyun. It opened its mouth wider and slowly lowered it, preparing to bite Mu Lianfeng. At this moment, Xiao Mao, who had been arranged to hide by Xiaoyun, suddenly rushed out and ran directly towards white tiger. Xiao Mao arrived in front of white tiger, lifted its hind legs and directly kicked white tiger's face. It happened to kick white tiger's two eyes. An even more miserable cry was heard. White tiger didn't care about Mu Lianfeng under it and directly jumped around in pain. Mu Lianfeng was fortunately released. Mu Lianfeng, how are you? Are you okay? Xiaoyun asked anxiously. I'm fine. Fortunately there was Xiao Mao. If Xiao Mao hadn't rushed out in time, he would have really become white tiger's food. It's good that you're fine. Xiaoyun's heart, which had been hanging in the air, finally breathed a sigh of relief. She really didn't dare to imagine what it would be like if Mu Lianfeng died in front of her. However, now was not the time to let down her guard. The danger was still ongoing. Xiaoyun supported herself with difficulty and crawled to Mu Lianfeng's side. The two of them supported each other and stood up. Chapter 1606. Mu Lianfeng originally wanted to use this opportunity to get rid of the white tiger, but he could not recover his strength immediately. In addition, the white tiger seemed to have sensed the danger coming from Mu Lianfeng, so it fled into the forest and disappeared in the blink of an eye. The forest was very deep, and it would be difficult to find anything that escaped into it. Moreover, Xiaoyun and Mu Lianfeng's current physical condition was not good at all, so they could only watch as the white tiger escaped. Although they did not catch the white tiger, it was fortunate that they were able to escape from the white tiger's hands today and did not lose their lives. As for how to deal with the white tiger next, they would have to think of a way later. They did not know what kind of species it was before, so their preparations were not complete. Many things were not done properly, so they naturally encountered danger when they acted rashly. If there was another chance next time, it would not be like this. They were afraid that there would not be another chance. The white tiger was injured this time, but it should not lose its life. There was a possibility that it would appear again next time. Because there were too many uncertainties, there was no way to guard against it. If they sent people into the forest to look for the tiger, this method was not very feasible. Mu Lianfeng's brows were inevitably dyed with some anxiety. Xiaoyun saw through Mu Lianfeng's thoughts and comforted him. Mu Lianfeng, we are already very lucky to be able to escape danger this time. Let's think about other things in the future. Yes. Mu Lianfeng nodded in response. His worries were useless. Instead of worrying, it was better to calm down and slowly think of a way. Wretch, after walking a few steps, Mu Lianfeng vomited the blood in his chest again. Zhao Yun saw this situation and immediately panicked. Sometimes, this kind of internal injury was more serious than external injury. Mu Lianfeng vomited blood, which meant that the injury was not light. Zhao Yun quickly supported Mu Lianfeng. I will help you to the tent to rest first. Let's go see a doctor tomorrow? Okay. Mu Lianfeng responded. Afraid that Zhao Yun would be worried, Mu Lianfeng said gently, Yun don't worry, I will be fine. You don't have to worry too much about me. Zhao Yun sighed. Mu Lianfeng, you have to be well. For me and Daodu's sake, we haven't spent enough time together as a family. Mu Lianfeng held Zhao Yun's hand. But Yun can you promise me one thing? Yun if you encounter danger again in the future, you must not be like today. You must escape by yourself first, don't worry about me. Hearing Mu Lianfeng's words, Zhao Yun was a little angry. Mu Lianfeng, my life is your life. Is it not life? Daodu doesn't need me. Daodu also needs you. Mu Lianfeng did not say anything, but that did not mean that Zhao Yun would let him off so easily. Zhao Yun went forward and asked, Mu Lianfeng, say something. What do you mean by this is better? Look at your lewd smile. There must be something. Zhao Yun's words left him speechless. This was the first time he had heard someone call him lewd. Say it. What were you thinking just now? What do you mean by this is better? Zhao Yun questioned, her attitude tougher than before. Mu Lianfeng had no choice but to say, okay, I'll say it. That's a good boy. Zhao Yun's serious face was no longer as tense. Yun, come closer. I'll tell you. Mu Lianfeng said gently. Although Zhao Yun was a little confused, she still went over very cooperatively. Zhao Yun just replied casually, and didn't mention the thrilling incident last night, so that Liang Jinxiao wouldn't be worried. In the next few days nothing happened. Zhao Pinger stayed with the third branch these days, and Liang Jinxiao entertained her with good food and drinks. Seeing that Zhao Pinger relied on her injury to eat this and that, Zhao Yun was very unhappy. Unfortunately, whatever she said to Liang Jinxiao was useless. In this case, she didn't need to waste that effort. Chapter 16:10. After all, when the new house was built, it meant that she could move in. The whole family didn't have to squeeze into the small thatched house, which was very inconvenient. Moreover, the big house was spacious, so it was more comfortable than the small thatched house that leaked wind and rain. After Zhao Yun's house was built, she bought some candies from the town. Generally, when the villagers finished building a new house, they would stand on the roof and sprinkle some candies as a celebration to add joy and luck. This was a traditional custom in the village. Zhao Yun didn't want to save money, so she bought some candies. Of course, firecrackers were also necessary for the building to be completed. Zhao Yun also bought some firecrackers back. In the morning, when the villagers found out that Zhao Yun's house was going to be completed, they rushed to Zhao Yun's new house to join in the fun. When the candies were scattered, they could more or less snatch some. One had to know that the villagers were very poor, so how could they be willing to spend money to buy candies to eat? It was also good to snatch a piece of candy and give it to the children at home. Usually, the villagers didn't pay much attention to Zhao Yun's new house. They thought that something good could be built when the foundation was at the foot of the mountain. When they came to see Zhao Yun's house, they realized that they were wrong. Zhao Yun's house was built with at least 7 or 8 rooms. It looked very imposing. Moreover, Zhao Yun's house wasn't built with the same broken thatched houses as the other villagers, but with brick and tile houses. The cost of building this kind of brick and tile house was very expensive. It cost a lot of money to build a house. Ordinary people simply didn't have the money to build it. Zhao Yun not only built it but also built such a big house. It must have cost at least dozens of silver. The villagers were all amazed at Zhao Yun's wealth. In the future, the richest family in the village would be Zhao Yun's family. But thinking about it, Zhao Yun was now hooked up with Mu Lianfeng, and Mu Lianfeng was the current heir apparent. Naturally, it was impossible for him to be poor. In addition to the beautiful brick house, Zhao Yun's walls were painted with white lime, which looked refreshing and bright. It was even more beautiful than the houses in town. If he lived in such a house, it would definitely be very comfortable. Unfortunately, ordinary villagers like them had no money. Not to mention building a big house like Zhao Yun's house, it was already good enough to have a few more ordinary thatched huts. Every family in the village lived together, and there were no extra rooms for people to live alone. The villagers were talking about Zhao Yun's house. Most of them were sighing that old Zhao's family was rich and their lives were getting better and better. In the morning in the courtyard of old Zhao's house, Feng Xianxia greeted Xin Pan when Yun'er's house is finished, they will set off firecrackers and scatter candy. It will be very lively. Do you want to go out and join in the fun? Let's bring Yang Yang along and we can grab more candy for Yang Yang to eat. Xin Pan's family was somewhat rich, so she didn't care about these small things. What she hated the most were the villagers who stared at some worthless things and treated them like treasures. Her mother-in-law, Feng Xianxia, was the same, but Xin Pan couldn't say anything to Feng Xianxia. If she offended Feng Xianxia as the daughter-in-law, her life in old Zhao's house wouldn't be easy. Chapter 16:11. Xin Pan couldn't help but refuse. She knew that Feng Xianxia wouldn't say anything if she used Zhao Yangyang as a shield. Sure enough, as soon as Xin Pan finished speaking, Feng Xianxia's eyes turned. After thinking about it, she felt that Xin Pan's words made sense, so she said to Xin Pan, you're right. When the time comes, there will be too many people and it won't be good for Yang Yang to go. If he gets hurt accidentally, it'll be too late to cry. Xin Pan nodded. Yes, so mother, you should go. I'll take care of Yang Yang at home. Feng Xianxia quickly nodded. Okay. Then I'll go with Yang Yang. When the time comes, I'll grab some candies to satisfy Yang Yang's cravings. I haven't bought anything good for Yang Yang to eat during this time. Feng Xianxia muttered. Xin Pan pursed her lips and didn't say anything. She was dissatisfied with Feng Xianxia's behavior during this time. Because Zhao Qianhu and Jianghu were about to get married, there were a lot of things they needed to spend money on. It would be a huge expense when the time came. Because Feng Xianxia wanted to save money, she had been living frugally during this time. She couldn't bear to spend money on good things and was even stingy with Zhao Yangyang. Xin Pan began to worry. If Feng Xianxia was already like this, when her second sister-in-law married into the family in the future, the family would be even tighter. She didn't know how stingy Feng Xianxia would be. Moreover, Zhao Qianhu wasn't as capable as Zhao Qianhu. As his mother, Feng Xianxia would naturally make more plans for him. She would probably give whatever money she had to Zhao Qianhu and Jianghu. She wouldn't think about Xin Pan and Zhao Tianlong. Xin Pan was annoyed at this thought. Even if she was dissatisfied, she couldn't say anything. After all, it wouldn't be good for her if things got out of hand and they split up. She had to find someone to take care of her and Zhao Yangyang. Otherwise, who would wash their clothes? Who would cook for them? Did she have to make him do it himself? That wouldn't do. She wasn't born to be a country bumpkin. However, everything would be fine after a while. When Zhao Tianlong came back, she would talk to him about splitting up. If Zhao Tianlong could pass the imperial examinations, he would be able to become an official in the future and his family would be rich. Zhao Tianlong could take care of his parents after he became rich, but he couldn't possibly take his younger brother and sister-in-law with him, right? Xin Pan didn't want to let anyone take advantage of her. Although they were brothers, there were some things that they had to be clear about. Yes, mother. Thank you for your hard work, mother. Xin Pan replied resentfully. It's no trouble at all. Mother would also join in the fun if she went. Little girl Pan, it's actually quite lively. You can go out and take a look. Take Yang Yang and stand further away. You shouldn't get hurt. Xin Pan shook her head and refused. Mother, you can go. I won't go. Feng Xianxia didn't insist. All right then, mother will go now. After saying that, Feng Xianxia walked out of the room. At this time, Xuanhuan happened to be in the yard. Feng Xianxia called out to Xuanhuan, Mother, Yun'er's house has been built. It will be very lively when they put down the firecrackers and sprinkle the sugar. Do you want to go and have a look? The two of us can go together. Xuanhuan snorted coldly, her face full of displeasure. Feng Xianxia asked curiously, Mother, what's wrong with you? Are you unhappy? Chapter 16:12. Feng Xianxia became even more curious and asked, Mother, why is that? Why don't you go? The house that third brother built belongs to the eldest brother. There are at least 7 or 8 rooms. I'm afraid that there's only one house in our Shuilan village. After all, it has something to do with our old Zhao family. We'll be honored if we go. Xuanhua's expression became even uglier. She replied coldly, It has something to do with our old Zhao family? What can it have to do with us? They built such a big house for us to live in? Now that the third branch has achieved great success, what benefits do we get? Did they think of us? Hearing Xuanhua's words, Feng Xianxia smiled embarrassedly. Mother, there's nothing we can do about it. Our old Zhao family separated from the family. Moreover, that house doesn't belong to third brother and third sister-in-law. It was built by Yun'er. Then it has something to do with Yun'er. We can't think of it. The more Feng Xianxia said, the angrier xuanhuan became. That's reasonable, but they can't do that. I'm that girl's elder, right? Let's not talk about other people. Shouldn't they take me and her grandfather to live there? Isn't it just a matter of a house? Hearing xuanhuan's words, Feng Xianxia finally understood why xuanhuan was angry. In the end, xuanhuan cared about her reputation. The third branch built such a big house. Everyone in the village was talking about how good the house was. In the end, xuanhuan as the grandmother couldn't live in it. She could only look at it. Naturally, she was unhappy. After all, a big house was more comfortable than a shabby thatched hut. Feng Xianxia comforted her. Mother, why are you angry about this? Why don't you talk to third brother? He's a filial person and will definitely listen to you. When the time comes, third brother will nod and agree. Then you can live in it, right? Xuanhuan was silent for a moment. Feng Xianxia's words made sense. He would tell xuanhuan about this later. Xuanhuan was Zhao Yun'er's father. Could it be that he did not have any dignity in front of Zhao Yun'er? You still can't make up your mind? Alright, I'll talk to third brother about it later. Well, third brother is in the big house now. Let's go and have a look. It's rare to see such a lively thing in the village. Xuanhuan nodded in agreement. Alright then. It's good to go out for a walk and get some exercise. It's really boring at home. Haha, that's right. Mother, you should go too. Maybe the two of us can snatch more candies back and then we can snatch more for Yang. The reason why Feng Xianxia pulled xuanhuan over so eagerly was that she wanted more people and more hands to snatch the candies. Otherwise, she would not have wasted so much time talking to xuanhuan. Then let's go. Xuanhuan mumbled. Alright. The two of them ran in the direction of Zhao Yun'er's newly built big house. Meanwhile, Zhao Ping'er overheard the conversation between xuanhuan and Feng Xianxia. Zhao Ping'er was very excited when she heard about the candies. She quickly got out of bed. Everyone was running to snatch the candies. Naturally, she could not be left behind. Chapter 16:13. Mother, I heard that father has finished building the house. He's going to set off firecrackers and scatter candy later. Zhao Ping'er mumbled. Liang Jinxiao nodded and said, Yes. Ping'er, what's wrong? Mother, I want to go too. Liang Jinxiao frowned and said worriedly, Ping'er, what do you think you're going to do? You can only lie down at home like this. Otherwise, if you pull on the wound on your body, what should we do? Zhao Ping'er pursed her lips and said, Mother, I'm fine. I've rested for so many days. I won't get hurt if I'm careful. Liang Jinxiao was still worried. Ping'er, what if you get hurt? Actually, there's nothing to see. It's just setting off firecrackers and scattering candy. Mother, I'm going because I want to snatch the candy. Zhao Ping'er muttered. Upon hearing that Zhao Ping'er wanted to snatch the candy, Liang Jinxiao stopped her even more. Ping'er, what's the point of snatching the candy? Later I'll ask Yun'er to leave some for you to eat. Zhao Ping'er said disdainfully, Mother, Zhao Yun'er is so stingy with me. Would she be so kind as to leave me candy to eat? I'd better snatch it myself. Otherwise, I'll be scolded by her if I take her candy later. Zhao Ping'er knew that she should be soft-mouthed after receiving a gift. Liang Jinxiao sighed. Ping'er, then Mother will help you snatch the candy. You just rest at home and don't go out. Mother, why don't you let me go out? It's better if you help snatch the candy. The two of us can snatch more candy together. Liang Jinxiao felt helpless after being tormented by Zhao Ping'er. He had no choice but to say, All right then. But Ping'er, don't be too rough when you snatch it lest you hurt yourself. Zhao Ping'er replied faintly, Got it. The two of them left the third branch's room together. Liang Jinxiao was afraid that Zhao Ping'er's body would not be able to take it. Along the way he reminded Zhao Ping'er to slow down and not be too anxious. Zhao Ping'er thought that Zhao Yun'er's family had built a big house, so she asked Liang Jinxiao, Mother, the house is built. When will you move in? We'll talk about it after we get the furniture back. It'll probably be done in a day or two. It's very fast. Zhao Ping'er thought for a moment and asked, Mother, the house that Zhao Yun'er built this time is so big that it can definitely fit a lot of people. Liang Jinxiao nodded and said, That's right. There are enough houses. This time I specially built a few more. I'm just afraid that there won't be enough space for more people in the future. Mother, then can I bring Brother Yuan and his family over to live here later? Isn't it good for us to live together? You don't know, but my in-laws' house is even more run down than ours. It's not comfortable at all. Since Zhao Yun'er built a house with enough rooms, then let us move in too. Zhao Ping'er said it very casually and did not feel that there was anything wrong with it at all. However, Liang Jinxiao frowned and rejected directly. Ping, how can we do that? This has never happened before. How can we let your in-laws live with us? Mother, what's wrong with that? As long as there are enough houses. You're already living in a big house. You can't possibly let me go back to my in-laws' house to live in a rundown house alone, right? When Liang Jinxiao heard Zhao Ping'er's words, he felt that Zhao Ping'er was actually not sensible at all even though she was already so old. Ping'er, it's not that mother doesn't want to let you go back to your in-laws' house to live in a rundown house. It's just that there's no reason for two families to live together. Chapter 16:14. How could Zhao Ping'er listen to Liang Jinxiao's words? She only felt that Liang Jinxiao did not agree. If you don't want us to live there, then so be it. When I earn money later, I'll also build a big house to live in. Liang Jinxiao's mouth twitched a little helplessly and said, Ping'er girl, then I'll wait for you to earn money in the future. After walking for a while, the two finally arrived in front of Zhao Yun'er's newly built house. Although the house was built at the foot of the mountain because the foundation was leveled, it looked good. In particular, the courtyard was quite big. Coupled with the big house, it looked very imposing. In the village, this kind of house was definitely luxurious and unique. When Zhao Ping'er and Liang Jinxiao arrived, most of the villagers came to join in the fun, especially the children. Children were the most gluttonous. They hoped that when the candy was scattered, they could grab a few more candies to eat. The villagers gathered together were all chattering and exclaiming that Zhao Yun'er's newly built house was really luxurious. If they could live in this kind of house, it would be very comfortable. Unfortunately, they could only look at it. They could not live in it. After all, they were ordinary poor people and did not have so much money to build a house. Old Zhao's family is really lucky. In the village, their house is now the best built. Isn't that so? I don't know if the ancestors of old Zhao's family are really lucky. How did the whole family become rich in just a year? Didn't you hear that Zhao Baoshan built a tomb for the ancestors? It's probably because of the blessings of the old ancestor in heaven. That's why the old Zhao family has become prosperous. Hearing this, the villagers felt that it was very reasonable. Now, the only explanation that could explain the continuous happy events in old Zhao's family was the blessing of the ancestors. Otherwise, who could explain which family would have so many happy events in a year under normal circumstances? However, Zhao Baojuan's family was the most unhappy about this reason. At that time, they had built the ancestral grave for the old ancestor's family. If this was a blessing, why didn't the old ancestor bless their family? Why did all the good things go to Zhao Baoshan's family? It was obvious that the elder ancestor had done it on purpose. If they had known earlier, they would not have gone to repair the ancestral tomb. There was no benefit in doing so. It's going to be sweets, cried someone. And then, wait for me. We're setting off the firecrackers first. What's the rush? Zhao Wenhua first took out the firecrackers and exploded them. Then he took the ladder and the candies and stood on the roof. The people who came to join in the fun were already waiting below, hoping that Zhao Wenhua would scatter the candies as soon as possible. Don't push. What are you doing? Exactly. Why are you squeezing? Ouch, you stepped on my foot. Stop squeezing, it's so annoying. Seeing where Zhao Wenhua was standing, the crowd hurriedly squeezed in front of Zhao Wenhua. A group of people pushed each other and the scene was a little chaotic. Everyone was afraid that they would not be able to snatch the candies and fought to be first. Zhao Yun'er looked at the villagers and shook her head. It would be good if they did not fight over the candies later. It was just some candies. As for that, Zhao Wenhua steadied himself and began to scatter the candies with the bag in his hand. Fortunately, Zhao Yun'er bought a lot. Otherwise, with so many people here, there would not be enough candies to snatch. Chapter 16:15. Zhao Wenhua was afraid that the fight would get too intense, so she hurriedly scattered a few more handfuls of candies in other directions. This way the villagers would split up and fight for the candies so that there wouldn't be too much chaos. One by one, the villagers squatted down and grabbed the candies on the ground, afraid that they would miss one and have it snatched away by someone else. When Zhao Ping'er saw the candy umbrella coming over, she hurriedly urged Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, hurry up and snatch the candies. Why are you wasting so much time?" Liang Jinxiao hurriedly squatted down, grabbed a few candies from the ground, and stuffed them into her pocket. Zhao Ping'er didn't fall behind. When she saw the candies beside her, she hurriedly reached out to grab them, not giving anyone a chance to snatch them away. When the candies beside her were all snatched, Zhao Ping'er hurriedly shouted at Zhao Wenhua, who was on the roof, "Father, hurry up and scatter more candies over here. Don't scatter them elsewhere." Zhao Ping'er's voice was very loud, so Xuanhuan naturally heard it and scattered a few more handfuls in Zhao Ping'er's direction. However, the other villagers rushed over like a swarm of bees and squeezed Zhao Ping'er out in an instant. She fell heavily to the ground, and pain immediately spread throughout her body. Zhao Ping'er was furious. When she saw the candy beside her, Zhao Ping'er ignored the pain and hurriedly reached out to grab it. However, when Zhao Ping'er was about to grab it, it was already too late. Another child's hand was faster than Zhao Ping'er's and snatched the candy from Zhao Ping'er's hand. Zhao Ping'er angrily glared at the child who snatched her candy. This child was none other than Tai Chui, her young madam's precious grandson. Zhao Ping'er frowned. If she didn't see wrongly, it was her Mayam who pushed her out with her buttocks. Now her grandson was snatching her candy again. Zhao Ping'er couldn't take it anymore and exploded. "You brat, hurry up and return the candy to me. Who told you to snatch it from me? You sure have guts." Zhao Ping'er said angrily to Iron Hammer. Her face was cold and she looked very angry. Iron Hammer ignored Zhao Ping'er completely. Instead, he stuck out his tongue at Zhao Ping'er and said, "I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it to you. What I snatched is mine. Why should I give it to you?" Zhao Ping'er became more and more angry. A little brat dared to be so presumptuous in front of her. He really didn't put her in his eyes. If she didn't make a move and teach him a lesson, wouldn't this child turn the sky upside down? Zhao Ping'er endured the pain on her butt and got up from the ground. She walked in front of Iron Hammer and grabbed him by the collar. She threatened him, "Hurry up and return it to me. Otherwise, I'll beat you to death." Iron Hammer struggled in Zhao Ping'er's hand. Unfortunately, Zhao Ping'er was much bigger than him. Iron Hammer couldn't break free and shouted at Zhao Ping'er, "Let go of me, let go of me." Zhao Ping'er wouldn't let Iron Hammer go so easily. She continued in a fierce tone, "Give me the candy and I'll let you go. Otherwise." Iron Hammer ignored Zhao Ping'er's threat and continued to struggle. He also kicked Zhao Ping'er's leg a few times. Zhao Ping'er felt a burst of pain. She gritted her teeth and glared fiercely at Iron Hammer. "You brat, you really turned the sky upside down. I'll teach you a lesson. It seems that you don't know what's good for you." Iron Hammer was a little scared by Zhao Ping'er's fierce gaze. However, it was impossible for him to hand over the candy. Chapter 16:16. "Little brat, you won't let go of me. What are you going to do about it?" Tai Chui hurriedly shouted at Madame Hu, Grandma, someone is bullying me. Hurry and help me. A bad woman wants to beat me up." Madame Hu was originally focused on snatching candy from the ground and didn't know what was happening. When she heard Tai Chui shout, she looked over and saw that Zhao Ping'er was actually touching Tai Chui. Tai Chui was Madame Hu's precious grandson, so Madame Hu naturally couldn't bear to see Tai Chui being bullied. Thus, she angrily rushed over to Zhao Ping'er and questioned Zhao Ping'er, "Last Ping'er, what are you doing? What right do you have to bully my Tai Chui? Did my Tai Chui offend you? How can you hit a child? You're already an adult, so how can you do that?" Zhao Ping'er angrily said, "So what if I hit him? Who told him to snatch my candy? Tell him to return the candy to me and I'll let him go." Upon hearing Zhao Ping'er's words, Madame Hu became even angrier. She pointed at Zhao Ping'er and scolded, "Last Ping'er, how can you be like this? How old are you, yet you're still snatching candy from a child? Moreover, this is your family's house. How can your own family run over here to snatch candy from others? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at?" Zhao Ping'er didn't blush when she was scolded by Hu Shi. Instead, she said very matter-of-factly, "Who said that my family's candy can't be snatched by others? So what if I snatched it? Eldest young mistress, you knocked me down just now and injured me. I haven't even taken it to heart yet. Let's take it to heart now. Also, this brat kicked my leg a few times. It really hurt." Madame Hu wasn't someone who was easy to deal with. Upon hearing Zhao Ping'er's words, she immediately slapped her thigh and shouted, "Io, there's no justice in this world. There's really no justice in this world. How can she be like this?" At this moment, Xuanhuan finished scattering her candy. The villagers who came over to join in the fun also finished snatching their candy. When they heard Madame Hu's shout, they looked over at her. "What's going on? Why is it so noisy?" "Yeah, what's going on?" Seeing that the villagers were paying attention, Madame Hu began to complain, "Everyone, come and be the judge. Look at that girl Ping'er. What did that girl do? My family's Iron Hammer only snatched some candy, yet he's still holding on to my family's Iron Hammer and won't let him go. Right now, he's clamoring to teach my family's Iron Hammer a lesson." Hearing Madame Hu's words, the villagers began to condemn Zhao Ping'er. "What's wrong with this Zhao Ping'er? She's so calculative with a child. That's right. He's already so old, yet he's still so immature. Who in our village would argue with a child? Sai, the eldest daughter of old Zhao's third wife, is such a weirdo. She often does such things, so there's nothing strange about it. That's right, I've always heard that the eldest daughter of the third branch isn't a good person. It was one thing to be scolded by Madame Hu, but now, even the villagers were slandering her. Zhao Pinger couldn't take it anymore and retorted, "It was clearly one of you old things who pushed me and fell. A little brat snatched my candy. How can it be that I'm being unreasonable?" Madame Hu pursed her lips and said, "Then I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't mean to hurt you. Iron Hammer is also a child." "That's right. Pinger lass, you're in the wrong. You're too calculative. This child later on asked Yun to bring you more candy to eat. Don't be so calculative with Iron Hammer." "No, mother, this little brat is very unreasonable. I can't stand seeing him like this." Liang Jinxiao sighed and felt a little tired. "Ai Ping, if you say let it go, then let it go. Don't make a fuss. If you continue to make a fuss, mother will be angry." Zhao Ping was silent for a moment, as if she was thinking about Liang Jinxiao's words. She felt that Liang Jinxiao was just bluffing and there was no need to pay attention to him. Chapter 16:18. Liang Jinxiao choked on Zhao Pinger's words and her eyes were filled with disappointment. She had been serving Zhao Ping all these days. How could Zhao Pinger not know? How could she say such words? It was really too sad. This girl was probably too naive. No matter how good she was to her, she wouldn't know. "Ping girl, it's not that I'm biased, but why are you making such a fuss on such a festive day? There are so many people here. Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? How old are you? There are some things that you should understand. Why are you still letting me talk to you?" Zhao Pinger wanted to say something, but she was interrupted by Liang Jinxiao. "Hurry up and let go of Tai Chui. If you continue to make a fuss, you can go back to your in-laws' house. Even your maternal family can't keep you." When Zhao Pinger heard that she was going back to her in-laws' house, Liang Jinxiao's attitude was still very firm. His face was cold and he didn't seem to be joking. Zhao Pinger hesitated. She thought that if she went back to her in-laws' house, she wouldn't have so many good days. After all, Liang Jinxiao would provide good food and drink at her maternal family's house. Her life would be much more comfortable than at her in-laws' house. After hesitating for a while, Zhao Pinger released Tai Chui's collar. However, before she let go of Tai Chui, she warned him, "You little brat, don't let me see you next time. Otherwise I'll skin you alive." Tai Chui was so scared that he quickly rushed behind Madame Hu and complained, "Grandmother, look, this ugly monster is so fierce. He even threatened me." Madame Hu snorted and said, "With grandmother here, he wouldn't dare to do anything to you." Yes. Tai Chui nodded heavily. He believed that with Madame Hu here, no one would bully him. As for Zhao Pinger, she ran away from her unscathed. Tai Chui proudly stuck out his tongue at Zhao Pinger. Zhao Pinger was infuriated at first glance, but when she thought of Liang Jinxiao's words, she couldn't argue with Iron Hammer. In any case, the next time he saw Iron Hammer, he would definitely beat him up. When Madame Hu saw the hammer in front of her, she was still unhappy with Zhao Pinger, so she continued to chatter. "I say, third niece-in-law, the children in the family should be properly disciplined. Don't be so immature at their age. If others see them, they will say that our old Zhao family has no manners. You've embarrassed old Zhao's family." Liang Jinxiao pursed his lips and replied, "Auntie, you're right. I'll take note of that." Madame Hu snorted, "It's good that you know." After saying that, Madame Hu took the hammer and left. Since they had finished snatching the candies, there was no reason for them to stay. Zhao Pinger angrily walked over to Liang Jinxiao and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, look at her. That face of hers?" Liang Jinxiao glared at Zhao Pinger and said, "Shut up and stop talking. Don't you find it embarrassing?" Zhao Pinger swallowed the words that she wanted to say. She saw Liang Jinxiao's frightening expression. If she said another word, Liang Jinxiao would probably fly into a rage. The surrounding villagers were still joining in the fun. Feng Xianxia had managed to snatch some candies and was satisfied. However, because there were so many people, on average each person did not manage to snatch a lot of candies. She only wanted to let her children have a taste of the candies. Now that the commotion over Zhao Pinger's matter was over, the villagers started to talk about Zhao Yun'er's house again. Feng Xianxia saw that Zhao Wenhua seemed to have kept some candies after scattering them. She started to think about the candies in Zhao Wenhua's hands. Chapter 16:19. Third brother, today is your family's big day. Congratulations. Feng Xianxia said with a smile. Xuanhua also smiled and replied, "Thank you, sister-in-law." Haha, third brother, look. So many people came today to join in the fun. Your third branch is really proud. You built such a big house. Everyone in the village is envious of you. Zhao Wenhua's face also revealed a proud smile. The house is really big, but it's all thanks to Yun. Otherwise, how could Yun'er's mother and I get so much money to build the house? Feng Xianxia smiled and replied, "That's right. Yun'er is really capable. She's the most capable person in old Zhao's family." Zhao Wenhua laughed heartily. Sister-in-law, don't just praise Yun'er. If we're talking about capability, who in old Zhao's family is more capable than Tianlong? When Tianlong's child becomes a provincial official in the autumn examination, he can become an official. Then you'll be the wife of an official. In our village only you have this good fortune. Don't you think so, sister-in-law? Speaking up to this point, Feng Xianxia also felt proud, and a proud smile appeared on her face. When it came to their family's Tianlong, there was indeed no one more capable than Zhao Tianlong. Of course this still had to wait. She could only show off when Zhao Tianlong really passed the examination. Otherwise she would definitely be laughed at by others. They're all capable. Haha, it's all old Zhao's good fortune. That's right. Zhao Wenhua sighed. Feng Xianxia stared at the candy in Zhao Wenhua's hand. Third brother, can you give me some of your candy? I'll give it to my Yang when we get back. Zhao Wenhua hesitated for a moment. He was too embarrassed to refuse, so he grabbed a handful and gave it to Feng Xianxia. Sister-in-law, Daodu and Tianfu still have to eat the rest. Tianyu didn't come today. You have to give some to Tianyu later. Feng Xianxia replied, "Okay, that's good." It was enough to give her a handful of candies. Anyway, it was a profit. At this time, not far away, many old ladies from the village surrounded xuanhuan and said, "Aunt Hua, you are really lucky. You can live in such a big house later, right?" "Yes. Auntie Hua, I really envy you for being able to live in such a big house. All of us are working hard for the sake of the younger generation. Only you are the most fortunate. How many people would be envious if they could enjoy a good life in their later years?" Xuanhua's expression immediately turned ugly when she heard that. Feng Xianxia saw Xuanhua's eyes and knew what Xuanhua was thinking. She pulled Zhao Wenhua to Xuanhua and said, "Mother, tell third brother to move a room for you and father to live in." Zhao Wenhua was stunned and didn't understand what Feng Xianxia meant. "Sister-in-law? What are you talking about?" Zhao Wenhua asked weakly. Xuanhua was too embarrassed to say anything, so she gave Feng Xianxia a look. Feng Xianxia smiled and explained, "Third brother, look at how big your house is and how many rooms there are. Why don't you move a room for father and mother to live in? Father and mother are old. At their age, living in a big house must be much more comfortable. Third brother, mother always talks about how filial you are. Now that your third branch has a big house, you should naturally bring father and mother to enjoy life together. You can't let them live in that rundown house, right?" Chapter 16:20. Actually, he had never thought of letting Xuanhua and Zhao Baoshan move in together. After all, Zhao Yun'er was the one who paid for the house, and Zhao Yun'er only said that the third branch would move in. She did not mention Zhao Baoshan and Xuanhua. In addition, their old Zhao family had split up, and now they were living their own lives. How could they still live together? He could not make the decision on this matter. If Xuanhua and Zhao Baoshan really wanted to move in, they had to get Zhao Yun'er's permission first. This. Zhao Wenhua hesitated and did not know what to say. Feng Xianxia hurriedly said, "I say, third brother, isn't it just a matter of one house? Your third branch's family has so many rooms, and you definitely won't be able to fill them all. What's wrong with giving one room to your parents? Don't tell me you don't want your parents to live in an empty house?" "Sai, my family doesn't have money. Otherwise, your eldest brother and I would definitely bring our parents to live in such a good house." Zhao Wenhua was a little embarrassed by Feng Xianxia's words. His sister-in-law had not built a house yet, so it was easy for her to say it. If she really built a house, he did not know what would happen. However, his family would build a house first and wait for Zhao Baoshan and Xuanhua to move in. Then, his sister-in-law would continue building. Those two old people could not move from one big house to another, and they would not live with the first branch. However, Feng Xianxia's words made him look too unfilial as a son. His parents had raised him up with great difficulty, and in the end he could live in a big house and enjoy life, but he did not bring his parents along. "But, sister-in-law?" Zhao Wenhua was about to explain something, but when Xuanhua saw Zhao Wenhua's unhappy expression, she angrily interrupted Zhao Wenhua and reprimanded Zhao Wenhua. "Third brother, you are an unfilial son. When you were young, you were raised by your mother's feces and urine. When you grew up, you completely forgot about your mother, right? When the villagers heard this, they also scolded Zhao Wenhua. What? So old Zhao's third branch did not let Aunt Hua and Uncle Zhao live there? How can this be? Such a big house, as a son, shouldn't he bring his parents to live in it? If I gave birth to such an unfilial son who built a big house and didn't let me live in it, I would definitely break his legs later. How can people lose their hearts when they have money? Have they forgotten who raised him? Hearing the criticism around him, Zhao was a little. If word spread like this, wouldn't he become the representative of the village's unfilial son? Zhao Yunlong became more and more embarrassed. After thinking for a while, he could only say, "Mother, it's not that I don't want to bring you and father to live together. It's just that this house isn't mine to begin with." Chapter 16:21. When she was living a hard life, she didn't see old Zhao's family helping her. Now that the third branch could live a comfortable life, why should she bring others to enjoy it with her? What did they do? Feng Xianxia pretended to be a good person and said, "Yuner, you can't be like this. After all, your grandmother is your grandmother and your elder. Now that you can live in a big house, you should bring her with you. When you're old, you can't stand the torment. Let your grandfather and grandmother live in a big house in their later years and enjoy some happiness." The surrounding people echoed, "That's right. What's wrong with bringing elders to live in such a big house? After all, it's still empty. As a family, you should be more filial. Yuner, don't be too stingy. Bring the two elders to live with you." Seeing that the villagers tied this matter to morality, if she didn't bring Zhao Baoshan and Xuanhuan to live with her, she would probably be labeled by the villagers. However, there were too many situations like this. Zhao Yuner didn't care what others said. Anyway, she wouldn't agree or give in. "Eldest aunt, it's easy for you to say that. Back then, I was chased out of old Zhao's family. You know how much I suffered. At that time, you didn't care about me and even stabbed me in the back, making my life more difficult. Why didn't I see you do anything? Now that I'm living in a big house, it has nothing to do with old Zhao's family. Why should I bring my grandfather and grandmother to live with me? Besides, after we separated from the family, I established a female household. You didn't want to have anything to do with me in the first place. Now that you see that I'm living a good life, you eagerly come over." Zhao Yuner said mercilessly. Hearing this, Feng Xianxia felt a little embarrassed, and Xuanhua's face turned red with anger. The surrounding villagers with a conscience still said something fair. Yuner's words aren't unreasonable. At that time, old Zhao's family went too far. Yuner suffered a lot. That's right. Yuner really didn't have it easy. It wasn't easy for her to get to where she is today. He remembered that there was a year when he almost starved to death. Fortunately, the people in the village helped him. Otherwise, he would have lost his life. At that time, old Zhao's family didn't do anything. They were stingy and didn't care about Yuner at all. There's nothing wrong with what Yuner is doing now. Previously, old Zhao's family had gone too far. In reality, there were too few people who repaid evil with good. Therefore, everyone could understand Zhao Yuner's actions. They didn't catch Zhao Yuner to criticize Zhao Yuner anymore. Xuanhuan was unwilling, but she couldn't say anything. However, she was still unhappy that she wasn't able to live in Zhao Yuner's big house. Feng Xianxia didn't think much of it. Chapter 16:22. Feng Xianxia was thinking that if she could persuade Xuanhuan to build her own house, Xuanhuan would definitely not live with the eldest branch after she built her own house. When Zhao Tianlong passed the provincial examination, she would not have to worry about Xuanhuan making a fuss and living with them. Xuanhuan frowned. "Build your own house?" "Yes, build your own house. Mother, didn't little sister give a lot of betrothal gifts? Why keep so much money and not spend it? You might as well build a house. It won't cost too much. Sometimes you have to enjoy it. Otherwise, you won't be able to bring it with you when you die. Who will you save all that money for? You and father are getting old. Who knows how many more years you can enjoy it?" Xuanhua's face darkened when she heard this. She started scolding Feng Xianxia. "Eldest daughter-in-law, how can you say that? Are you cursing your father and I to die? How can you talk like that?" Feng Xianxia suddenly realized that she had let it slip. Although what she said was true, it was taboo for the elderly. Feng Xianxia pursed her lips and smiled embarrassedly. "Mother, no, I'm not cursing you and father. I just want to advise you to enjoy it as much as you can now. Don't regret it when you can't. It's fine if you don't have money, but if you have money, why should you save it?" Xuanhuan sighed and said worriedly, "You can't say that. You can only be at ease when you have money in your hands. If you spend it, what if you need it urgently in the future and can't take out the money? Feng Xianxia pursed her lips and smiled. Mother, you can't say that. How can you spend too much money in the future? Moreover, mother, think about it. Little sister married such a rich man. If you really don't have money, can't you just look for little sister? Xuanhuan was silent for a moment. She thought that Feng Xianxia's words made sense. She had forgotten that she had a daughter who was rich. Thus, she gritted her teeth and said, Fine, we'll build a house. That Yuner girl is very arrogant and stingy. She likes to haggle over every little thing. Later, I'll build my own house to piss her off. Feng Xianxia giggled in response. That's right, mother. Building your own house will be so carefree. You don't have to live under someone else's roof. Eldest daughter-in-law, what you said makes sense. I'm already so old, but I can't stand that wretched girl's anger. Later, I'll discuss it with your father and buy a house. Okay, mother. Feng Xianxia smiled even more happily, seeing that Xuanhuan was finally convinced by her. Now that the third branch is about to move out, Xuanhuan and Zhao Baoshan will also have to move out when they build a house. Would have 2 rooms, have 2 rooms, as have a house, have a house. Since Zhao Qianhu was about to get married, they definitely had to build a house for Zhao Qianhu's wedding. They couldn't wait for Zhao Qianhu to get married and squeeze in the same house with them. He had to inform Zhao Wenhua and ask Zhao Wenhua to give the empty room to Yuner's first branch to be used as Zhao Qianhu's wedding room. Thinking that the matter of the room could be resolved, Feng Xianxia's original worry dissipated. She had to inform the second and fourth branches before they left, lest the second and third branches snatch it away. Feng Xianxia hurried to Zhao Wenhua and said to Zhao Wenhua, Third brother, eldest sister-in-law has something to discuss with you. Chapter 1623. Feng Xianxia seemed a little embarrassed as she said, That? Third brother, you know that Tianhu is about to get married. But we don't have that many rooms when we're all living together. Your third branch is about to move out of old Zhao's house and live in such a big house. After you move out, can you give Tianhu's house to use as his wedding room? After Zhao Wenhua heard this, if her sister-in-law hadn't come over to ask for their third branch's house because of Zhao Qianhu, she probably wouldn't have agreed. She thought about how her nephew, Zhao Qianhu, treated her third branch very well and would help them out whenever they needed. Now that Zhao Qianhu was about to get married and lacked a house, and since her third branch was about to move out, it wasn't impossible to give a house to Zhao Qianhu. Zhao Wenhua thought for a moment before nodding and saying, Eldest sister-in-law, that's fine. After we move out, the room will be used as Tianhu's wedding room. After hearing Zhao Wenhua's words, Feng Xianxia happily thanked him and said, Third brother, thank you so much. Our Tianhu's wedding room problem is finally solved? Otherwise, I don't know how to get a house for him. Zhao Wenhua's mouth twitched. Eldest sister-in-law, you don't have to thank me. I'm not doing this for your sake. It's Tianhu who finally got married. As his uncle, I naturally have to help if I can. Feng Xianxia's face was full of smiles. Then I still have to thank third brother. When we go back, help Tianhu decorate. The 2 children's wedding day is approaching. We have to prepare well. Zhao Wenhua responded, Yes, we have to prepare. The sooner we marry the girl, the sooner we can. But there's something on my mind. Tianhu isn't young anymore. Ah, that's right. Feng Xianxia smiled and agreed. The villagers gathered in front of Zhao Yuner's house for a while. Seeing that it was almost time for lunch, they began to disperse one by one. Zhao Yuner looked at the house that had been built. Tomorrow she would go to the town and bring back all the furniture. After that, she would be able to move in. It had only been 2 days since they moved out of old Zhao's courtyard. When the time came to move into a big house, life would be much better. At the very least, they wouldn't have to squeeze into a small rundown house. After making do for a period of time, he finally got through it. Zhao Yuner had purposely added another floor to the brick house to make it into a loft. Therefore, living in such a house would not be as stuffy as living in a small thatched cottage because there was an extra floor above. He would not feel uncomfortable when he had to urinate, defecate, or heat stroke. As for tomorrow, after the furniture was brought back and the decorations were done, she would invite her family to have a banquet to celebrate. There was no need to invite anyone else for the banquet. Old Zhao's family was enough. Chapter 1624. Since Liang Jinxiao ignored her, Zhao Ping panicked. Zhao Ping chased after Liang Jinxiao and asked, Mother, are you still angry with me because of what happened just now? Mother, don't be angry with me. This matter is not my fault alone. Wasn't it that brat Tietue who snatched it from me? Mother, look, I fell on my buttocks again. It hurts so much. I think it tore my wound. As Zhao Ping'er spoke, she tugged at Liang Jinxiao's sleeve and looked at Liang Jinxiao with an aggrieved expression. If it weren't for the fact that there were people around, she would have taken off her pants and exposed her buttocks for Liang Jinxiao to take a look. She wasn't lying. She was seriously injured. Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Ping'er. Zhao Ping'er's words still showed no signs of repentance. Liang Jinxiao felt that she had done nothing wrong. This made Liang Jinxiao feel very tired. What she feared the most was Zhao Ping'er's unrepentant attitude. How could she forgive her easily if she didn't even know what she had done wrong? This girl, she had spoiled her too much and treated her too well. That was why she had developed such an insensible character. Sometimes she didn't know what she should do and what she shouldn't do. You should reflect on yourself. Liang Jinxiao pulled her sleeve out of Su Er's hand. Zhao Ping'er was stunned. She didn't expect Liang Jinxiao to be serious with her. Looking at the situation, Liang Jinxiao wouldn't be able to recover in a short time. Zhao Ping'er pursed her lips and said, "Mother?" Liang Jinxiao took a deep breath and said to Zhao Ping'er, "Ping'er, in 2 days our third branch will move to the big house. At that time, it will be inconvenient for you to live there. After all, this house was built by Yun. You two sisters like to quarrel when you are together. If you quarrel later, it will affect the harmony. You've almost fully recovered these days. Mother thinks you can go back to your in-laws' home." Liang Jinxiao meant that he wanted to drive Zhao Ping'er away. Zhao Ping'er did not expect that Liang Jinxiao would take the initiative to chase her away. She hadn't enjoyed enough of this good life yet. She wouldn't be so happy if she returned to her in-laws' home. Zhao Ping'er pursed her lips and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother? I haven't recovered from my injury yet. I don't know when I'll recover. I haven't lived in such a good house yet. What's wrong with letting me live there for a while?" After hearing Zhao Ping'er's words, Liang Jinxiao hardened his heart and said, "That won't do. You haven't lived there before. Go back and save up money to build a house. This is Yun'er's house. Even father and mother can't bring you to live there. Tomorrow you can pack up and go back to your in-laws' home." Liang Jinxiao knew very well that if Zhao Ping'er and Zhao Yun'er lived together, there would be chaos. Moreover, Zhao Ping'er was insensible. Who knew what kind of trouble she would cause? It was better to let Zhao Ping'er go back to her in-laws' home early so that she wouldn't cause trouble later. During this period, Zhao Ping'er had almost fully recovered from her injury. It shouldn't be a big deal when she returned to her in-laws' home. Zhao Ping'er wanted to say something, but she was interrupted by Liang Jinxiao. "All right, Ping'er, you don't have to say anything. It's settled then." Zhao Ping'er was reluctant, but Liang Jinxiao was insistent. This was the first time his attitude was so unyielding. There was nothing she could do. She could only say, "All right then, Mother, but I'm going back tomorrow. You have to cook a good meal for me today, right? I don't know how long I'll have to wait before I come back." Chapter 1625. Upon hearing Zhao Ping'er's words, Liang Jinxiao frowned. She had indeed promised Zhao Ping'er that she would kill a big rooster and fry it for her to eat. However, Zhao Ping'er had been bitten by little Hay and caused a commotion, so the matter was left unsettled. She had not thought of killing a rooster for Zhao Ping'er to eat during this period of time. Now Zhao Ping'er had actually brought it up again. Liang Jinxiao was silent for a moment, unwilling to do so. She was still a little angry when she thought of the commotion Zhao Ping'er had caused today. This girl better not be too nice to her. Zhao Ping'er continued to stare at Liang Jinxiao eagerly and coaxed Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, I'm leaving tomorrow, so please don't be so calculative with me. When I return to my in-laws' house, I won't have such good food to eat, so I'll definitely miss our family's food. Mother, can't you satisfy me before I leave?" Liang Jinxiao did not say anything. Zhao Ping'er tugged at Liang Jinxiao again and said, "Mother, you can't go back on your word." Seeing Zhao Ping'er pestering her like this, Liang Jinxiao felt a little helpless. She knew that if Zhao Ping'er did not get to eat, she would probably make a fuss again. Thinking that Zhao Ping'er would be leaving tomorrow, this rooster would be a farewell gift for Zhao Ping'er. Zhao Ping'er would definitely not have anything good to eat when she returned to her in-laws' house, so her life would be miserable. Liang Jinxiao sighed and said, "All right then, Ping'er girl, I'll catch a big rooster for you to eat tomorrow." "Mother, aren't we going to have a chicken dinner tomorrow when we enter the house? If there's something else to eat, why would we eat a big rooster?" Liang Jinxiao frowned and said to Zhao Ping'er, "Ping'er, what do you mean? If you don't know how to eat rooster and leave, what chance do you have to eat it?" Zhao Ping'er licked her lips and replied with a grin, "Mother, why don't we eat it today? It just so happens that there aren't any good dishes today." Because the men who had been working had finished their work and gone back. When the workers were here, the third branch had to prepare some good dishes. Now that the workers were gone, the third branch naturally didn't have to prepare such a sumptuous meal. At noon he casually prepared some food to deal with it. The quality of the food immediately dropped by a lot. Zhao Ping'er missed the days when the workers were still around. At least she could eat a lot every day and live a happy life. Thinking about all kinds of delicious dishes, Zhao Ping'er could feel her mouth watering. Then she couldn't help but swallow. Liang Jinxiao said, "Ping'er girl, how can we roast a big rooster today? We let the rooster out in the morning when we woke up. Where can we catch a chicken and roast it?" "Mother, I'll go back and look for it later. When I find it, I can catch it and roast it, right? Can you catch it?" Chapter 1626. Zhao Ping'er was worried that not only would the family Qin refuse to serve her, but they would also mock and ridicule her. Their attitude would be very bad. If that happened, how would she be able to live happily in the family Qin? The thing she hoped for the most now was for her and Ma Xiaofeng to get better quickly. Then she could set up a stall in Yang City to sell breakfast and earn more money back. After talking to Zhao Ping'er, Liang Jinxiao did not continue to talk to Zhao Ping'er. His attitude remained cold and indifferent. Zhao Yun'er walked to the side. When she saw Liang Jinxiao's attitude, she had some thoughts in her mind. It seemed that her mother was dissatisfied with Zhao Ping'er. Her attitude was much worse than before. If something else happened, Liang Jinxiao would probably be even more disappointed in Zhao Ping'er. Not only would he have a cold attitude towards Zhao Ping'er, but he might also ignore Zhao Ping'er. Zhao Yun'er naturally hoped that they would not interact with each other for the rest of their lives. However, what could make Liang Jinxiao so estranged from Zhao Ping'er? It had to be something big. Zhao Yun'er rubbed her chin and thought for a while. Unfortunately, she could not think of anything at the moment. However, the change in Liang Jinxiao's attitude towards Zhao Ping'er had already made Zhao Yun'er feel gratified. She believed that as long as she gave some advice to Liang Jinxiao would definitely understand. As for Zhao Ping'er, she eagerly rushed back to old Zhao's house and looked for the rooster around old Zhao's house. Once she found it, she had to catch it to bring it back and cook it. Most of the chickens in the countryside were free-range. Sometimes there was not much food for the chickens to eat. If the chickens were released, they could find some wild vegetables and insects to eat. This way they could save a lot of food. Moreover, this kind of chicken would taste very delicious. When Zhao Yun'er came to ancient times, the only thing she was happy about was that she could eat a lot of natural food in ancient times. Whether it was vegetables or poultry, they were all far more delicious than those of the 21st century. Zhao Ping'er looked around old Zhao's house and finally found the rooster raised by the third branch. At this time, the rooster was under the wooden basin together with a few hens. Its head was down and its beak was pecking at the ground as if it was looking for food. Zhao Ping'er's eyes lit up when she saw the rooster. She slowly approached the rooster, preparing to catch it. Because she was afraid that the rooster would run away, Zhao Ping'er tried her best not to disturb the rooster. Just as he was about to reach the rooster heard the noise and prepared to flee. Zhao Ping'er was afraid that if the rooster ran away she would be caught again, so she rushed towards the rooster. The rooster opened its wings and flew away, avoiding Zhao Ping'er's grab. Zhao Ping'er didn't catch the rooster, but she did a somersault and fell heavily to the ground. She ate a mouthful of dirt with her head down. Pay. Zhao Ping'er hurriedly spat out a few times, spitting out the dirt in her mouth. After being tormented like this, Zhao Ping'er was a little angry and cursed. "Why am I so unlucky today? Everyone is bullying me. Now even a rooster is going against me. I have to catch it, pluck all its feathers and braise it to eat." With some difficulty, Zhao Ping'er got up from the ground. She used her sleeve to wipe her face, and her gaze fell on the rooster not far away. The rooster seemed to have sensed danger, and its footsteps were very messy as if it didn't know where to go. Chapter 1627. However, to Zhao Ping'er's disappointment, when she pounced on it again, the rooster ran away again. The rooster seemed to have received a huge shock, and it flew up to the tree branch. Looking at the tall tree, Zhao Ping'er stood under it, her heart filled with despair. She couldn't catch it on the ground, and now that the rooster had flown up the tree, it was even more impossible to catch it. Zhao Ping'er couldn't help but vent her anger. Standing under the tree, she scolded, "You stinky chicken, hurry up and come down. If you don't come down, I'm going to climb up there." Hearing Zhao Ping'er's dangerous words, the rooster couldn't understand. However, Zhao Ping'er's voice was very loud, and it frightened the rooster. The rooster crowed incessantly on the tree. Zhao Ping'er became even angrier. "I told you to come down, but you didn't listen. What are you chirping about? Do you think I'll let you go and not eat you if you keep chirping like that? Let me tell you, don't even think about it. If you come down earlier, I can make you suffer a little more. Otherwise, when I catch you, I'll slowly torture you to death. The rooster cried out a few more times on the tree. At this moment, there was no one watching. If there was someone watching, they would probably think that Zhao Ping'er was crazy. How could an animal understand what she was talking about? The result of an animal not being able to understand human language was that any kind of terrifying threat would be useless. Zhao Ping'er stood under the tree angrily. You stinky chicken, you're not being kind. Do you think you'll be fine after hiding from me on the tree? Let me tell you, I'll catch you today. If you don't come down, I'll guard this tree until you come down. I don't believe that you can stay on the tree forever. At this time, Liang Jinxiao saw that Zhao Ping'er hadn't come back for a while, so he went out to look for Zhao Ping'er. Although he was angry at Zhao Ping'er, he thought that Zhao Ping'er was pregnant. If the child in her belly was hurt, it would be a big problem. When he found Zhao Ping'er, he saw Zhao Ping'er standing under the tree. The rooster was on the tree, and it was crying out as if it was greatly frightened. Liang Jinxiao saw the situation and frowned. He said to Zhao Ping'er, since the rooster has run up the tree, I don't think we can catch it today. Let's forget it. Zhao Ping'er felt that Liang Jinxiao must be reluctant to let the rooster go. She was afraid that if she missed this opportunity, it wouldn't be easy to eat it next time. She stubbornly refused. No, mother, I must catch this chicken today. Liang Jinxiao saw that Zhao Ping'er began to be willful again, and he was displeased. You child, why do you have to be so stubborn? You can't catch it, but you still want to catch it. It's a waste of effort. Zhao Ping'er pursed her lips and said, Mother, it's a waste of effort. It's my effort that's wasted, not yours. What are you worried about? Liang Jinxiao found that he couldn't win against Zhao Ping'er. This child just wouldn't listen to him. No matter how much he said, it would be useless, so he might as well not say anything. He calmly replied to Zhao Ping'er, if you want to catch it, then catch it. Even if Zhao Ping'er insisted and waited to catch it, Zhao Ping'er wouldn't be able to catch it. After all, the rooster had flown up the tree. How could Zhao Ping'er catch it? Chapter 1628. Zhao Ping'er waited for quite a while and she was getting impatient. You stinky chicken, I told you to come down. Did you hear me? That's not a favor. Zhao Ping'er scolded angrily. The rooster on the tree continued to caw at Zhao Ping'er. Zhao Ping'er felt that it wasn't a good idea to continue waiting like this. If the rooster continued to stay on the tree, how long would she have to wait? It was quite tiring for her to stand guard under the tree. Zhao Ping'er frowned. She stared at the rooster on the tree and thought for a while. In the end, she said, Fine, if you don't want to come down, I have plenty of ways to make you come down. As she spoke, Zhao Ping'er picked up a stone from the ground and threw it at the tree. If she couldn't make the rooster come down, she could at least throw the stone at it. Zhao Ping'er threw the stone at the rooster. As expected, when the rooster saw the stone falling towards it, it was so frightened that it shook its wings. However, it didn't come down from the tree. The rooster was probably very smart. It knew that if it came down from the tree, it would be worse than staying on the tree. Zhao Ping'er would definitely chase after it. Zhao Ping'er continued to pick up a few more stones and threw them at the tree. The rooster nimbly dodged them. Zhao Ping'er was a little annoyed. She couldn't get the rooster to come down after throwing so many stones. What should she do? Just as Zhao Ping'er was in a daze, a black, sticky thing suddenly fell from the tree. This thing fell on Zhao Ping'er's face. Zhao Ping'er touched her face. When her hand came into contact with the sticky thing, her brows tightly knitted together. She quickly used her sleeve to wipe her face. She rubbed her hand on the ground to get rid of the sticky thing. However, when she smelled it again, it still smelled bad. Zhao Ping'er felt a wave of nausea rising from her stomach. She retched and cursed at the rooster on the tree. Smelly chicken, you've got guts. You actually dared to shit on me. I think you're tired of living. Come down, hurry up and come down. Zhao Ping'er stomped her feet angrily under the tree, but there was nothing she could do. He had scolded him and smashed him with rocks, but the rooster still refused to come down. Zhao Ping'er thought for a moment, then pointed at the big rooster and said, Just you wait. I'll climb up and catch you now. Let's see where you can run to. With that, Zhao Ping'er rolled up her sleeves and prepared to climb the tree. As a child, Zhao Ping'er often climbed trees, so she had some skills in climbing trees. However, after she grew up, she did not continue to climb trees. With the foundation battle experience from when she was a child, she should not be too bad at climbing trees. Zhao Ping'er tried to climb. Although it was a bit difficult, after climbing halfway, Zhao Ping'er suddenly fell down. The tree trunk was still a bit slippery. In addition, Zhao Pinger's body was heavy, so she slid down from the tree. She wanted to climb up again, but she could not climb up again. This fall was not light. It hurt so much that Zhao Pinger gritted her teeth. Today she did not catch the rooster. Instead she got injured all over. It was really not worth it. Zhao Pinger's but was already seriously injured when she fell to the ground because of Hu Shi's push. This time it was one disaster after another. Zhao Pinger was in so much pain that a layer of cold sweat appeared on her forehead. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. Zhao Pinger struggled to get up and cursed. Chapter 1629. Zhao Pinger staggered back. With every step she took, she felt the wound on her buttocks tug painfully. This was even more unbearable than when Xiao He had bitten her. The most painful part was that the original wound had not healed yet. Now the wound was getting worse. Now not only was it painful, but there was also a heart-wrenching itch in the midst of the pain. Zhao Pinger felt really uncomfortable. Mother, mother, Zhao Pinger yelled for Liang Jinxiao the moment she returned to old Zhao's courtyard. Usually, whenever she had a minor illness or pain, she would count on Liang Jinxiao to take care of her. This time was no exception. When she arrived at old Zhao's courtyard, Zhao Yun also came over. Zhao Yun and Liang Jinxiao were busy working together. The two of them were chattering away, but she did not know what they were talking about. When she got closer, she heard that Zhao Yun was going to organize a banquet tomorrow and was discussing with Liang Jinxiao about tomorrow's matters. The two of them were talking and laughing, not paying attention to her at all. Zhao Pinger looked at Liang Jinxiao in dissatisfaction. She had called out so many times, but Liang Jinxiao did not respond to her at all. Instead he was talking and laughing with Zhao Yun. Zhao Pinger leaned over and complained to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, I called out to you, why did you ignore me?" Liang Jinxiao raised his eyebrows and glanced at Zhao Pinger. He replied indifferently, "I didn't hear you call out to me just now. Why did you call out to me?" Zhao Pinger pouted and said aggrievedly, "Mother, you don't care about me at all. You only know how to talk to Yun. I shouted so loudly, but you didn't even hear me." Liang Jinxiao said unhappily, "Pinger, how can you say that? Mother really didn't hear you. I didn't do it on purpose." "Mother?" Zhao Pinger felt even more aggrieved. She pointed at her buttocks and said, "Mother, my buttocks are hurt. It hurts so much. I think the wound has split open." Liang Jinxiao frowned for a moment. He was not as concerned about Zhao Pinger as before. Instead he asked, "Why did you hurt your buttocks?" Zhao Pinger lowered her head and muttered, "Mother, it's all because I wanted to catch that stinky chicken. I was going to climb up the tree to catch it. Who knew that I would fall down the tree halfway and hit my buttocks? Today young mistress pushed me and I fell down. These two falls added together, so my buttocks." Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Pinger with disappointment. "I said that you deserved it. I told you not to catch it, but you didn't listen. Look at what happened now. You hurt your buttocks too." "Mother, that stinky chicken pooped on my face, so I climbed up the tree to catch it. Otherwise I wouldn't have caught it. It's all that stinky chicken's fault. Mother, you can't just blame me." Liang Jinxiao shook her head helplessly. She did not know how to reprimand her daughter. It was bad enough that she argued with a child just now. Now she was arguing with a chicken. She did not know what she would argue with later. Every time she tried to persuade her, she would stubbornly insist on doing things her own way. When she suffered, she would complain in front of her. What could she do? If she had listened to her, things would not have turned out this way. "Don't talk to me anymore. If you're hurt, you can deal with it yourself. But I'm not a doctor. What can I do?" Liang Jinxiao said coldly and ignored Zhao Pinger. "Mother?" However, she couldn't argue with Zhao Yun, so she was speechless when Zhao Yun refuted her. Liang Jinxiao's cold voice sounded again. "Pinger, don't make a fuss. Hurry up and go back to your room. You're making my head hurt." "Mother, why aren't you going back? Don't tell me you don't want to eat lunch? Or is your injury not painful enough?" Zhao Pinger pursed her lips, feeling wronged. "I'll go back to my room." Before entering the room, Zhao Pinger glared hatefully at Zhao Yun. If Zhao Yun wasn't in front of her mother's heart might have softened. Chapter 1631. Now the wound on her butt hurt so much that Zhao Pinger felt like her flesh was being torn apart. "It hurts. What should I do?" Zhao Pinger muttered. Zhao Yun glanced at Zhao Pinger's cowardice and couldn't help but shake her head. No one could stand Zhao Pinger. Only Liang Jinxiao, her mother, had the patience to talk to Zhao Pinger. Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao spoke a few more words. When she was about to go back, she saw Zhao Jin'er crying secretly in the corner of the room. Zhao Yun'er walked over and said to Zhao Jin'er, "Sister Jin'er, what's wrong with you?" Seeing Zhao Yun'er coming over, Zhao Jin'er wiped her tears with her sleeves and replied to Zhao Yun'er, "No, nothing." Seeing the tears in the corners of Zhao Jin'er's eyes, Zhao Yun'er frowned. She was crying, yet she said she was fine. She must have something on her mind. "Little sister Jin'er, did something bad happen? You'll feel better if you tell me. Why don't you tell me?" Zhao Jin'er looked up at Zhao Yun'er, sighed deeply and said, "Actually, it's not a big deal. I'm getting married in a few days, but my mother hasn't come back yet. On the day I get married, my mother has to be by my side, right? Otherwise, who can send me off?" Hearing Zhao Jin'er's words, Zhao Yun'er felt some sympathy for Zhao Jin'er. It had been a while since she should have left old Zhao's house, but Zhao Wenshui didn't go to Li Chuang's in-laws' house to pick her up. No wonder Zhao Jin'er was upset. Zhao Wenshui was usually very lazy and would ask Zhao Jin'er to take care of him from time to time. Li Chuang was in old Zhao's house, so at least there was someone to take care of him. "Sister Jin'er, let your father pick it up," Zhao Yun'er said. Zhao Jin'er lowered her head. "My father won't go, why not? If your mother doesn't come back, who will cook for him?" Speaking of this, Zhao Yun'er told her about every leftover meal from Liang Jinxiao. After listening, Zhao Yun'er finally understood. He was wondering how Zhao Wenshui could stand not having anyone to cook for him and serve him. It turned out that his cheap mother had cooked a lot. The third household provided him with good food and drinks every day, so how could Zhao Wenshui possibly think of Li Chuang? If she wanted Zhao Wenshui to take the initiative to ask Li Chuang to come back, she would have to ask her mother to cut off Zhao Wenshui's food. Zhao Wenshui would probably have to go to Li Chuang obediently in a few days. Zhao Yun'er patted Zhao Jin'er's shoulder and said, "Sister Jin'er, don't worry. I have a way to make your mother come back." "Really?" Zhao Jin'er asked expectantly. "Yes, I should be able to. I have to try." Zhao Jin'er gratefully tugged at Zhao Yun'er and said, "Yun'er, thank you." "You're welcome." Zhao Yun'er smiled. As Zhao Yun'er spoke, she turned to talk to Liang Jinxiao. Only then did Liang Jinxiao realize the serious consequences of his actions. If he had known, he would not have sent food to Zhao Wenshui. Because of this, his second sister-in-law had not come back for so long. "Yun'er, I understand. You can go back." "Yes. Mother, no matter what second uncle says, don't be soft-hearted. You must not give him food. After resting for so many days, even the most serious injuries have healed. Don't listen to his excuses." "Yes, yes. Yun'er, I will remember." "Mother, I will go back first." "Okay." Not long after Zhao Yun'er left old Zhao's courtyard, the third household had finished preparing lunch. Chapter 1632. Usually, when Zhao Wenshui smelled the smell, he knew that the food in the third branch was ready, and Liang Jinxiao would bring the food to him in a while. However, today was different. Zhao Wenshui lay in bed and waited for half an hour, but Liang Jinxiao did not bring the food. His stomach was growling with hunger. Zhao Wenshui impatiently shouted a few words in the room, "Third sister-in-law, third sister-in-law. Third sister-in-law, third sister-in-law, why don't you answer me?" After shouting for a while, Zhao Wenshui did not see Liang Jinxiao come in. In the end, Zhao Wenshui had no choice. He ordered Zhao Jing, who was beside him, and said, "Jing, go to your third aunt's room and shout. Why didn't she answer me after I shouted for so long?" Zhao Jing was a little reluctant to go and shout for Liang Jinxiao. After hesitating for a while, Zhao Wenshui urged her, "Jing, why are you still in a daze? Go quickly." Zhao Jinger murmured, "Father, haven't you recovered from your injuries? Why don't you go and call for third aunt yourself? Why do you insist on me going?" Zhao Wenshui glared at Zhao Jing, "Why are you so insensible? If I go, won't I be exposed? When your third aunt sees that I've recovered from my injury, will she still send me food?" "Father, why are you like this? You're already so old, yet you're still lying." Zhao Jing muttered in dissatisfaction. "You wicked girl, what are you talking about? I asked you to go, but you didn't go. Now you're counting on me." Zhao Jing curled her lips. "Father, I'll go, okay?" Zhao Jing was afraid that Zhao Wenshui would nag at her in the room, which would be annoying. Zhao Wenshui stopped talking about Zhao Jing and waved his hand, "Go quickly." Zhao Jing sighed, went to the third branch's room and called for Liang Jinxiao. After Liang Jinxiao entered the second branch's room, she asked Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, why did you ask me to come here?" Zhao Wenshui's face suddenly darkened. Liang Jinxiao did not know why he asked her to come here. It seemed that she had completely forgotten. Zhao Wenshui coughed softly and reminded her, "Third sister-in-law, did you forget one thing today?" Liang Jinxiao frowned and rolled her eyes. "What's the matter?" "Second brother, just tell me directly, I can't remember." Zhao Wenshui's mood immediately became even more uncomfortable. Did she have to say it? Couldn't Liang Jinxiao think for herself? "I say, third sister-in-law, did you forget to bring me lunch today? I waited for a long time but it didn't come. I'm starving. Hurry up and get me something to eat now." Liang Jinxiao smiled awkwardly. "Well, second brother, I'm sorry. I just ate at home and there are no leftovers, so I can't bring you any more." Hearing Liang Jinxiao's words, Zhao Wenshui was stunned. With a bitter face he said to Liang Jinxiao, "Third sister, why are you like this? Didn't you promise to bring me food every day when I was recuperating? Why did you bring me food every day? Why did you suddenly stop today?" Chapter 1633. Liang Jinxiao smiled awkwardly and said, "Second brother, I did say that before, but that was when your injuries were not healed. Now that your injuries have healed, you naturally don't need me to give you food." Zhao Wenshui was slightly stunned, and his face turned even uglier. He stuttered back to Liang Jinxiao, "Third sister-in-law, what nonsense are you talking about? When did my injuries heal?" Liang Jinxiao chuckled and said, "Second brother? Your injuries haven't healed yet? But yesterday I clearly saw you go to the toilet very smoothly. There's nothing wrong with you at all." Zhao Wenshui twitched the corner of his mouth and said, "That's only on the surface. There are still wounds on my body that haven't healed. You can't see them, but in fact I'm still injured." "Second brother, Dr. Sun said that Ping Er is fine with such serious injuries. Your injuries are much lighter, so how can it be that you haven't healed yet? Besides, I'm moving to Yuner's new house in 2 days. When I'm not in old Zhao's courtyard, even if your injuries are really fine, I can't bring you food anymore. I can't travel so far to bring you food, right? Third sister-in-law, you're obviously going back on your words." Zhao Wenshui looked dissatisfied and argued with Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao didn't want to talk more with Zhao Wenshui. "Second brother, I've taken care of you for so many days. I've done what I should do, so I can't always serve you. Second brother, I think you should bring second sister-in-law back. With second sister-in-law taking care of you, she'll definitely do better than me." With that, Liang Jinxiao ignored Zhao Wenshui and directly left the second branch's room. Looking at Liang Jinxiao's back as he left, Zhao Wenshui was so angry that he couldn't speak for a while. Zhao Jing watched from the side, thinking that her father wouldn't be able to hold on for a few days before bringing her mother back. Third sister-in-law is too much. If she doesn't give me food, then where can I go to get it? Zhao Wenshui stomped his feet. He was very hungry now, and if he didn't eat he wouldn't be able to stand it. "Father, how is third aunt too much? It's good enough for her to bring you food for so long. Now that your injuries have healed, naturally, you shouldn't rely on third aunt anymore." Zhao Jing couldn't help but speak up. Zhao Wenshui's resentful gaze fell on Zhao Jinger. "Why are you siding with an outsider? You only know how to speak for an outsider. Why don't you speak for your father?" Zhao Jinger replied with some grievance, "Father, I was just telling the truth. I didn't mean to speak up for third aunt." All right, I'm too lazy to talk to you. Go to your grandma's kitchen and get me something to eat. I'm starving." Zhao Wenshui urged Zhao Jinger. Zhao Jing frowned and looked troubled. "Father, I've already had lunch. Grandma didn't have any leftovers. If you want to eat, you have to wait until evening." Zhao Wenshui suddenly broke down. "What? You said your grandma also finished eating? Is she okay at all? It's good to have rice balls to fill the stomach." "Father, there's really no leftovers," Zhao Jing said. Zhao Wenshui's face was bitter as he muttered, "Really, she didn't leave any for me? Then what should I do? When will I be able to eat it at night? What should I do when I'm so hungry? I'm so angry." Chapter 1634. Zhao Wenshui shook his head firmly and said, No, your mother ran away by herself. If I go and pick her up, how embarrassing would that be? If I pick her up later, won't I have to do whatever she wants?" Zhao Jinger smiled bitterly and said, "Father, why do you care about face at this time? Mother's return is the most important thing. Father, I don't want to say this, but we can't do without mother." Zhao Wenshui didn't listen to Zhao Jinger and said, "I say girl, all you care about is your mother. Do you want to anger me to death?" Zhao Jinger saw that Zhao Wenshui was really angry, so she didn't continue. She had to find an opportunity to talk about this matter slowly. Now that Zhao Wenxue didn't listen, it was useless no matter how much she tried to persuade him. Finally it was night time. Zhao Wenxue, with a hungry stomach, hurriedly urged xuanhuan to cook. When people were hungry it was easy to feel dizzy and dizzy. The feeling of an empty stomach was very uncomfortable. Xuanhuan saw that Zhao Wenxue was eating with her at this time, so she was very dissatisfied. When the meal was finally ready she called Zhao Wenxue over to eat. Zhao Wenxue, however, became picky about the food. "Mother, why did you put so little oil in this dish? It's tasteless. It's not delicious at all. It's a waste of food. Even if you're saving money you don't have to be so reluctant, right? And this dish you only put a little bit of salt. It's too bland. It doesn't taste good in the mouth. I can't swallow it. And this?" It wasn't that Xuanhuan's dishes were worse than usual, but Zhao Wenxue was used to the food sent by Liang Jinxiao. When he came to eat Xuanhuan's dishes he couldn't get used to it. After all, the food of the third branch was rich in oil and tasted good. Xuanhuan's dishes were far inferior. Because of the comparison and the difference, Zhao Wenxue started to be picky about the food while eating. Seeing Zhao Wenxue blabbering on and on, Xuanhuan was a little annoyed. She replied to Zhao Wenxue unhappily, "Wenxue, are you done picking?" After being scolded by Xuanhuan, Zhao Wenxue was shocked. He pouted and said, "Mom, I was just saying. I was just telling the truth." His little sister had received so many betrothal gifts when she got married, so why should he save and not spend them? What's wrong with our family eating more delicious food? People should enjoy life. If you don't enjoy it now, you won't be able to enjoy it in a few years. Zhao Wenshue's words meant that he shouldn't bring anything with him when he died. If he had money in his hands he should enjoy it while it was still early. However, in Xuanhua's ears, Zhao Wenxue said that she would die in a few years. Xuanhua felt angry when she heard such an unlucky thing. "You stinking brat, do you want your mother to die? What good will it do you if I die? You're still thinking about your little sister's betrothal gifts. I saved them so I can do whatever I want with them. It's good enough that I cooked for you and let you eat, but you're still being picky. Do you think I have to feed you for nothing? Don't come to my place to eat tomorrow. If you don't have anything to eat, it has nothing to do with me even if you starve to death. In any case, I won't serve you anymore." "Mom, Zhao Wenxue anxiously tried to persuade Xuanhua. "Mom, this won't do. Where else can I eat besides you? Don't be angry with me. Is that okay?" Chapter 1635. Even Zhao Baoshan, who had been silent all this time, said, "My son, your mother is right. Don't come here to eat from tomorrow onwards. You can't blame father and mother for not letting you eat. It's just that your second branch has been eating here for a while. If you continue to eat, I think the other branches will be dissatisfied. After all, we are separated from the family. Otherwise, you can bring your family's money and food here to pay for the food." Zhao Wenxue said with a bitter face, "Mother, we don't have any food or money. We can't take them out. If you can't take them out, then don't eat. Why do you still want to eat?" "Mother?" Seeing that Zhao Wenxue still wanted to make trouble, Zhao Baoshan said with a serious face, "That's enough, my son. Don't say any more. If you really can't, bring Jinger's mother back. You have to live together as a family. You can't always rely on your mother and me. Your mother is old and can't move her legs. It's not easy for her to cook. She has to take care of the food for many of us. She's very tired every day. If it's just me and your mother eating, we can just make do. Your mother won't be so tired." Seeing that Xuanhua and Zhao Baoshan were determined, Zhao Wenxue felt a little desperate. Did he really have to bring Li Chuiying back? Zhao Jing tugged at Zhao Wenshue's sleeve and said, "Father, let's bring my mother back. I don't know how to cook. We won't have anything to eat tomorrow. Tianyu and I can't starve." "Father, I don't want to starve. I miss my mother. Please bring her back." Zhao Tianyu also begged. Although he didn't think that his mother was very good before, after his mother left, when he followed Xuanhua to ask for food, Xuanhua's attitude towards him was always cold and indifferent. She didn't give in to him at all. With such a comparison, Zhao Tianyu began to miss the time when Li Chuiying was still around. Basically, Li Chuiying would try his best to satisfy whatever he wanted. "Second brother, Jinger's mother has been gone for a while. I guess her anger has subsided. Go and pick her up tomorrow and she will probably agree to come back with you." After listening to their persuasion, Zhao Wenshue's heart wavered. Although he said that he didn't care if Li Chuiying came back or not, he missed him in his heart. That woman was not good in many ways, but she was still a woman. She could serve him during the day and sleep with him at night. It had been a while since he touched a woman. Zhao Wenxue felt something stirring in the depths of his heart. Suddenly, he missed the taste of a woman, and the thing below him involuntarily hardened. She couldn't wait to push Li Chuang down on the bed and give him a good beating. Zhao Wenxue swallowed his saliva and said, "All right then. Jing will come with me tomorrow. Let's go to her mother's house and pick her up." With Zhao Wenshue's words, Zhao Jing's originally gloomy mood dissipated. She only hoped that Li Chuang could be brought back tomorrow. She also hoped that her father could change his temper a little and not treat her mother too badly. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't be able to be together in the future. "Okay, father," Zhao Jing answered. The next morning, Zhao Yun went to the third branch first and asked Liang Jinxiao to take care of Daodu and Tian Tian. She was going to Yang City to buy some vegetables and get someone to send the furniture over. Chapter 1636. Don't worry, Yun, I'll take good care of Tian Tian. Okay then, mother, I'm leaving. Zhao Yun and Mulan went to Yang City together. The two families had finished building the house together. However, Mulan's family hadn't scattered candy yet. Today they were going to the town to buy candy and some groceries. The family would have a good meal as a celebration. After all, building a new house was a big deal to the villagers. The two of them soon arrived at Yang City. Zhao Yun and Mulan went to buy some groceries first. They had just set up the stall in the morning, so many of the dishes were still fresh. Zhao Yun bought a fish, 2 pounds of meat, a duck and some vegetables. The duck was an old duck that was several years old, so it was better to stew it in soup. Cold duck soup was the most suitable to drink in this season as it could cool down one's body heat. As for the other dishes, as long as there was meat, they were considered sumptuous in this era. Compared to Zhao Yun, Mulan was much more frugal. She only bought 1 pound of meat and a fish. River prawns and fish in ancient times were cheaper. After all, they didn't have much fat and oil, so the people didn't regret eating them. When they arrived at the market, they coincidentally bumped into the weirdo from Mulan's maiden family. Mulan saw her father, Mulan, and her nanny, old lady Mu, from afar. Beside them was a woman in her 30s. She wasn't very old, probably only 10 years older than Mulan. However, she was chubby and had more pockmarks on her face, which made her look a little disgusting. This chubby woman in her 30s walked together with Mu Dade. The two of them seemed very close while old lady Mu walked in front. Mulan stared at the three of them and was slightly stunned. She stopped in her tracks. The few of them were not far in front of her. They were buying groceries at the market. When they arrived at the meat stall, they looked around and didn't know whether to buy or not. Old lady Mu was talking to the butcher, probably discussing the price. Seeing that Mulan had stopped, Zhao Yun asked Mulan, "Sister-in-law Mulan, what's wrong with you?" Mulan looked a little downcast. She pointed at the three people in front of her and said, "Yun, that's my father and grandmother." Zhao Yun looked in the direction that Mulan was pointing at and frowned slightly. Mu clan? No wonder Mulan was in a bad mood. The people of the Mu family were very strange. They even wanted to sell Mu Hin. They did not treat their daughter as a human being at all. Fortunately, Mu Hin had gotten rid of the Mu family. Otherwise, who knew what would have happened? The Mu family. Even if it was Mulan's maternal family, Mulan did not want to have any dealings with them. Zhao Yun pointed at the chubby woman beside Mu Dade and said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, do you think that chubby woman beside your father is your stepmother?" Mu Hin frowned and said, "Yes, she should be. She was so close to her father, so she could only be her stepmother. After all, she was not a relative of the Mu family. Otherwise, Mulan would have recognized her." Zhao Yun chuckled and said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, your father's taste is really bad. Although this woman is young, she is fat and ugly. He still wants to sell Mu Hin to earn money to marry her. He must have a hole in his head." Chapter 1637. It was said that parents were selfless and devoted to their children. Even if they suffered, they would not let their children suffer. Mulan's father was a weirdo. He was so selfish that he cheated his own daughter. There was probably not a single family like him in a radius of dozens of miles. The corners of Mulan's mouth twitched and there was a hint of bitterness in her smile as she said, "Sigh, there's no other way. My father wants a woman to serve him by his side, and my grandmother wants to give my father a son. Naturally, she has to arrange for another woman to marry back. It's fine. Let him marry her. That's his business. You and Sister Mu Hin just have to lead a good life. You don't have to care about the Mu family in the future." Mulan nodded heavily and replied, "Yes, I know. They'll lead their own lives. Mu Hin and we will lead ours. We won't have anything to do with them in the future. That's right. When your lives get better, they'll regret it. You're right. As the two of them were talking, old lady Mu looked in Mulan's direction. When she saw Mulan, she was slightly taken aback and then poked Mu Dade. Mu Dade also looked in Mulan's direction. There was a strange emotion in his eyes. It seemed to be guilt. Let's go, Yun. Mulan quickly averted her gaze and turned around, preparing to leave with Zhao Yun. She saw that Mulan's expression was not good. It seemed that she did not want to bother with the Mu family, so she pulled her away. Zhao Yun could understand Mulan's feelings. There was no need to interact with such a family. Zhao Yun replied, okay. However, the two of them had only taken a few steps when the Mu family caught up with them. Old Lady Mu grabbed Mulan and said, I say, are you blind or are you doing it on purpose? Don't you know how to greet your father and me? Mulan's eyes darkened. She didn't want to talk to Old Lady Mu. However, Old Lady Mu did not give up. You damn girl, are you mute? Why aren't you saying anything? Don't think that it'll be fine if you don't speak. You are a descendant of the Mu family, so you have to be respectful in front of the elders of the Mu family. What kind of attitude is this? What do you mean? Old Lady Mu pulled Mulan's clothes and scolded her fiercely. Mulan frowned in disgust. Are you done talking? If you're done, then let me go. Zhao Yun watched from the side. She was disgusted by the Mu family. Where did they get the face to be so arrogant in front of Mulan? Hearing Mulan's words, old Madame Mu became even angrier. What are you talking about? Now that she's married into her husband's family, her maiden family doesn't recognize her anymore? Mulan felt that old Lady Mu was somewhat inexplicable. Not only did she run up to her and shout, but she also said such words. What did she mean? She didn't understand at all. Zhao Yun couldn't listen anymore. No wonder the Mu family could sell Mu Hin for money. With this quality, what couldn't they do? Grandma, what do you want me to say? What's there to say? Mulan sighed helplessly and asked old Lady Mu faintly. I say, girl, your words are really irritating. Is it so difficult to say hello? Old Lady Mu said angrily. Grandma, what's the purpose of saying hello? Is it necessary? You guys just live your lives well. My father has already remarried. I don't want to disturb him so as to not appear in front of you and annoy you. Chapter 1638. You. Old Lady Mu was so angry that she could not speak. She felt that Mulan's words were treacherous, but she could not refute them. After all, what they did was wrong. The matter of selling their daughter had been talked about in the village for a long time. It was a stain on the Mu family's reputation. However, old Lady Mu knew that if she did not use this method to earn money, she would not have the capital to marry Mu Dade. At this moment, Mu Dade walked over and tugged at old Lady Mu. All right, mother, don't be so calculative with Lon, this is not a big deal. Maybe she really didn't see us. Zhao Yun looked up at Mu Dade. She felt that Mu Dade still had some conscience when he said this. Mu Dade looked to be in his 40s. He was very thin and tall, but he was like a bamboo pole. He did not look like a sly person. He was an honest person. This kind of person was probably a mommy's boy. He would do whatever his mommy said. Selling Mu Hin and arranging for him to marry a wife were probably all done by old Lady Mu. Old Lady Mu was obviously the head of the household and had to listen to her in everything. She was used to being domineering. Hearing Mu Dade's words, old Lady Mu turned around and glared at Mu Dade. You're still speaking up for this wretched girl? No, you're still denying it. What's so precious about a daughter? How can you use her to protect her? Old Lady Mu muttered. Mu Dade looked at Mulan apologetically and did not continue speaking. Father, grandmother, if there's nothing else, I'll leave first. I still have to go back home to work. Mulan was very annoyed when facing Mu Dade and old Lady Mu. She did not want to continue being entangled with them. When she went back, she would not have to face Mu Dade and old Lady Mu. Naturally, she would not be so annoyed. However, old Lady Mu continued to block Mulan. Why are you in such a hurry to go back? What's the matter? Seeing the vegetables and meat in Mulan's basket, old Madame Mu's brows knitted together, her expression grave. My granddaughter is rich now. It's not the new year, but she can actually afford to buy meat to eat. Mulan saw that old Lady Mu was staring at the basket in her hand, so she quickly hid the basket behind her back. She said to old Lady Mu indifferently, Grandmother, aren't you living a good life too? Weren't you also preparing to buy meat at the meat stall? The corner of old Lady Mu's mouth twitched. We still can't bear to buy it. Even if we want to buy it, we won't be like you, weighing a caddy all at once. Mulan didn't know what to say when Old Lady Mu came. She just wanted to buy a gene of meat, but in Old Lady Mu's eyes, it was like something shameful. That's enough, mother. You don't have to say any more. I think Lan is just going to buy a meal of meat to eat for the children at home to nourish their bodies. What's there to say? Mu de Della pulled old Madame Mu and persuaded her. Old Lady Mu snorted softly. I know. But Dade, I think your eldest daughter is living a good life now and has money in her hands. That's why she can come and buy meat. Back then she also took out the 5 taels of silver at once. Since she's living a good life, I don't see her buying anything to be filial to you. You raised her in vain. Chapter 1639. After Mulan heard Old Lady Mu's words, she could not help but roll her eyes in her heart. She did not know how thick-skinned Old Lady Mu was to say such things. Not to mention selling Mu Hin, now she was even thinking of getting some benefits from her. After she married into her husband's family, she did not see the Mu family helping her even when she was at her most difficult time. It was better not to have this maternal family, unlike other families where the maternal family would protect their married daughters. Forget it, mother, Lanner's life is not easy, don't say such things. It's not like we can't live anymore. Why do you want Lanner to spend money to be filial to me? Mu Dade could not help but persuade Old Lady Mu. Selling Mu Hin in exchange for money for him to marry a wife had already caused the villagers to criticize him behind his back. Until now he could not even lift his head up high. If he let his married daughter buy things to be filial to him, he did not know what the villagers would say about him. Old Lady Mu could put aside her pride, but as a man, how could he bear to be criticized by the villagers? After all, men were prideful and pride was the most important thing. Old Lady Mu glared at Mu Dade. Who allowed you to speak? Could it be that your mother said something wrong? Can't your daughter be filial to you? How much food did she eat from our Mu family? Did she return it to our family? It was fine if she could not live her life in the past, we did not bicker with her. But look at her now, your daughter can even eat meat and it's not even during the holidays. This means that she is living a good life. And I heard that her family has built a new house. I did not know whether it was true or not, but now it seems to be true. She can only buy meat when she has money to build a house. Mother. Seeing Old Lady Mu's strong attitude, Mu Dade could not speak. He could not help but sigh in his heart, and did not dare to look Mulan in the eye. His mother could say whatever she wanted. In any case, he wasn't going to get involved in this. Xiaoyun watched the scene quietly. Although Mu Dade had some conscience, he was a coward and did not dare to refute Old Lady Mu's words. On the other hand, Old Lady Mu was a weirdo who liked to haggle over every ounce. The main problem was that she was narrow-minded and liked to take advantage of others. Now that they had their eyes on Mulan, it was likely that Mulan would have a hard time in the future. If the Mu family continued to pester him, it would be another troublesome matter. After the house was built, he was prepared to live a peaceful life. Who knew that something like this would happen? Coincidentally, he bumped into the Mu family in Sun City today. Mulan's face looked very ugly. She bit her lower lip and said, "Grandma, don't say such sarcastic words. It's said that a married daughter is like spilled water. I've never seen a woman send things to her maiden home all day long. When the family Zhu married me, they gave me a few taels of silver as a betrothal gift. You guys took all of it, so you didn't raise me for nothing, right? Why should I buy things for my father now? How my family lives is my family's business, and it has nothing to do with you. No matter how good my life is, don't expect to get a single cent from me. I won't give it to you." Mulan's words were very strong, and she was determined not to let the Mu family get any benefits. Xiaoyun admired Mulan's attitude. She had to be like this when dealing with weirdos. Otherwise, she would be the one to suffer if she was blamed. Chapter 1640. Old Lady Mu's shouts were very loud. With her shouts, the onlookers gathered around out of curiosity, wanting to hear what was going on. Old Lady Mu dragged the onlookers to talk about Mulan, saying that Mulan was not filial and that she had forgotten about her maternal family after she had a good life. She did not care about her maternal family and did not care about them at all. She did not even care about her own father and had not been filial to him for so many years. When Old Lady Mu saw that there were more onlookers, she became more energetic in her scolding. Lan Lan stood in the middle and received the strange looks and scoldings from the onlookers. Mulan was disgusted by Old Lady Mu's behavior, but she felt helpless. What could she do when she met such a grandmother? Mother, don't say any more. Mu Dade hurriedly tugged at old lady Mu and persuaded her. Others might not know, but Mu Dade knew very well that the Mu family was in the wrong in the first place. With so many onlookers, if Mulan said something and others heard it, he would be scolded again. That was why he hurriedly stopped old lady Mu, afraid that she would make a bigger fuss. Old lady Mu gave Mu Dade a push and warned him, I said, you don't have to care about this big matter. Your mother knows it in her heart. Today I have to tell everyone about Mulan's character and let everyone be the judge. Otherwise she will say that I'm unreasonable. Mu Dade was helpless. What was the point of being reasonable? They were clearly in the wrong first. If he said that they were unreasonable he would let them have more. Unfortunately, old lady Mu did not admit it and felt that she was reasonable. He could not do anything about it. Old lady Mu continued to hoot and Mulan could not take it anymore. She was disgusted to meet such a family member. Originally, she did not want to argue with them, but now it seemed that the result of not arguing with them was to be destroyed by old lady Mu. Xiaoyuner poked Mulan and said, I say, sister-in-law Mulan, don't tolerate this kind of situation. Let's expose their true colors. I want to see who the normal people think is unreasonable. Mulan pursed her lips and responded. Now she could only do as Xiaoyuner said. Otherwise, it would have a bad impact on her reputation. Mulan stood in the middle of the crowd and calmly narrated to the onlookers what old lady Mu and the Mu family had done. After listening to Mulan's words, the onlookers finally understood what was going on and began to criticize old lady Mu and Mu Dade. Most people had a conscience. Everyone knew in their hearts who was in the wrong first. Regardless of whether a daughter was filial or not, it was not a big deal. After all, a daughter was not like a son. If a daughter was married off, she would belong to someone else's family. A daughter who was married off was like spilled water. How many of them cared about their maternal family? Chapter 1641. Sigh, there are really all kinds of people. It's like a thief calling out to stop a thief. That's right. I don't know where he got the thick skin to sell his daughter. Such a parent is not qualified to be one. Instead, he expects his daughter to be filial to him. Sigh, there's nothing we can do about it. I don't know what's so good about it. If it were me, I wouldn't have the face to say it. In an instant, the onlookers who were scolding Mulan began to scold old lady Mu. Although old lady Mu was old, she still couldn't stand others scolding her like that. Old lady Mu was very embarrassed after hearing the words of the surrounding crowd. She could not maintain her composure and glared hatefully at Mulan. This wicked girl really didn't care about her family. She said anything and didn't know how to save some face for her parents and elders. Father, grandmother, you heard what everyone said, right? It's up to people to decide who's right and who's wrong. If you have nothing to do, don't make a scene in front of me. Otherwise, I won't be polite. Old lady Mu frowned and said angrily, not polite? How do you want to be rude? Do you want to hit me and your father? Unfilial bastard, I shouldn't have raised you when you were born. I should have just strangled you to death. Old lady Mu was so angry that she could do anything and say anything in the future. Even if the onlookers scolded her, she still didn't think it was her fault. She thought it was Mulan's fault. Hearing old lady Mu's cruel words, the onlookers scolded even more. That's enough, mother. Have you caused enough trouble? Let's go back. There are so many people watching. If the news spreads to the village, we'll be laughed at. Mu Dade couldn't stand it anymore. Old lady Mu didn't care about what the onlookers said and didn't care about her face, but he couldn't. No matter what, a man couldn't stand being poked at behind his back. It wasn't the time to make a scene. Why don't you care about what you should care about and meddle in what you shouldn't care about? Old lady Mu scolded. Mother, what's the point of you making a ruckus like this? Do we still need to buy our things? Do we still need to go back? Otherwise, when it's time, the ox cart back to the village will leave. It won't wait for us. After hearing Mu Dade's words, old lady Mu realized that it was getting late. If they continued to wait, they might not make it back in time. Although he was a little unwilling, he couldn't delay the important matter. There were so many roads back to the village. He couldn't possibly walk back or his legs would break. She didn't mind it, but his new wife couldn't. This woman was very fat. After walking a few steps, she would be tired and out of breath. She definitely couldn't walk that far. She didn't know what to do if she suddenly refused to leave halfway. She was an old woman and Mu Dade was so thin. He wouldn't have the strength to carry her back, right? So they had to catch up with the ox cart. As for Mulan, the onlookers were speaking up for Mulan. There was no point in dragging it out. It would be best if she went back and found time to go to Mulan's house to make a scene. At the same time, she could see if Mulan had built a new house and what the new house looked like. If she made a scene at Mulan's house, she would be able to get some benefits, right? Chapter 1642. Alright, I got it. I'll settle this account with this wretched girl later. Old Lady Mu muttered, showing a trace of impatience. Seeing that Old Lady Mu had finally relented, Mu Dade heaved a heavy sigh of relief. If they really made a fuss, he didn't know how to deal with it. If he could save trouble now, he would. He estimated that Old Lady Mu would listen to his homework when he went back, and then she wouldn't make a fuss anymore. Seeing that Old Lady Mu wasn't stopping her, Mulan pulled Zhao Yun'er and left. She felt disgusted if she stayed for another second. She really didn't want to talk to the Mu family, and she didn't want to have anything to do with them. She could only blame her bad luck for running into the Mu family today. After leaving the market, Zhao Yun'er and Mulan went to the custom-made furniture shop. In the carpentry shop, the custom-made furniture for the two families had already been made, and they were waiting for Zhao Yun'er and Mulan to come and pick them up. They were all placed in the backyard of the carpentry shop. Zhao Yun'er paid the rest of the money and went back with Mulan. Zhao Yun'er didn't have to bring the furniture back herself. She just had to tell the shop owner, and the shop owner would send someone to deliver it on an ox cart. What was Zhao Yun'er's kung fu? Zhao Yun'er and Mulan left the address and left. Although they were a little upset to run into the Mu family, when the two talked about the new house, they were very excited and happy. When the two families' houses were built, not only could they move into the new house, they could live more comfortably. Most importantly, after the two families moved into the new house, they could take care of the marriage of Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin. It was best not to delay the marriage of the two children and get it done as soon as possible. This way the two families could become in-laws and their current relationship would be even closer. Zhao Yun'er had already prepared everything, and Mulan had already gone to Yang City in advance to order a few quilts. When Mu Hin got married, they didn't have to worry about this. The rest of the things were taken care of by Zhao Yun'er. The two of them drove the donkey happily back home. Not long after Zhao Yun'er and Mulan left, Old Lady Mu turned to Mu Dade and nagged, "Dade, do you think Lan'er's family is rich?" Mu Dade pursed his lips and met Old Lady Mu's curious eyes. "Mother, it can't be?" Old Lady Mu snorted softly, "I think he's probably struck it rich." Not only was she able to buy meat to eat, but look, the clothes that Lan'er was wearing were also in good condition. One look and you can tell that they are newly made and the fabric is not bad. If it were in the past, where would she have the money to buy these? So I think Lan'er's family must be rich. Mu Dade pursed his lips and said, "Mother, whether Lan'er's family is rich or not is her business." "Are we still waiting for something?" Old Lady Mu said with a straight face, "Dade, that's not right. You're wrong." "How am I wrong?" "Although Lan'er is married, she is still a member of the Mu family. She should be filial to you, her father. I think you can always ask Lan'er for something when you have nothing to do. Oh right, if you can't get anything from your daughter, you can get something from your son-in-law, right?" Mu Dade sighed and seemed to be in a difficult position. You're tuning in to this Sword Dance in the Vast Sky YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.